Back to our breaking coverage of the California wildfires now, and the two largest fires burning right now, the Eaton and Palisades fires, have burned nearly 38,000 acres in the past few days. Fire officials say together they've destroyed more than 12,000 structures. Among the areas ravaged by the flames, the Pacific Palisades neighborhood of Los Angeles. These before and after photos show the businesses and homes it's destroyed. What were once shops and cafes are now reduced to a pile of rubble and ash. The Palisades fire has burned through nearly 24,000 acres and more than 5,000 structures so far. Well, Pacific Palisades is not the only community devastated by these fires. Just a few short miles away in an area of Malibu, flames have reduced family homes to ashes, shattering hundreds of lives in just a matter of moments. Amid the ash and ruin, it seems just a handful of homes are still standing, some by simple luck of the draw, others by sheer determination. In Kathy Eldon's case, it was her neighbour who battled back the flames as they approached her home, saving not just the building, but also a piece of her late son's legacy. And Kathy Eldon joins us now from Manhattan Beach in California. Thank you so much for talking with us at this harrowing time.
Grateful. Thank you.
Your home was one of the very few to survive the Palisades fire, while many of your neighbours and friends lost their homes and businesses. What are your thoughts at this time as you process what's happened?
Tremendous survivor's guilt and an absolute commitment to trying to do what I can to transform this horror for thousands, tens of thousands of people into something that is positive, and that is to tell the story of why it is happening in the first place. Numb, shock, horror.
And you do credit your heroic neighbours for helping you and others through this and for saving your home. How did you get to safety, and how did your neighbours make that happen for you and others?
Well, it's something that people have to be trained for. There's something called CERT, which is a citizens emergency response training. And you learn how to really pull together as a team and how you can prepare. We, as a little bitty street, we had 6, we now have 5 houses, came together, pooled our resources, fire hoses, and learned how to do it. And it was due to our Dr. Chester Griffiths and 2 of our neighbors who literally have been positioned there nonstop, putting out fires. They said they put out fires 15 times on our house, our Creative Vision Center for Creative Activism right next door. They were standing on the roof putting out fires. It's extraordinary that we survived. We're the only commercial building for miles. And for about 3 miles, we are one of a few homes that still are existing on the PCH in this particular area.
And
Beyond.
yes, you mentioned Dr. Griffith. So he had just performed brain surgery that day, and then, of course, performed 2 brain surgeries, and then performed this extraordinary. You mentioned Creative Visions was also saved. You started that non-profit in honour of your 22-year-old son Dan, who was a photographer for Reuters but was tragically killed in Mogadishu. What does the fact that this building was also saved in the midst of all the devastation mean for the work done on your son's behalf?
That is really a great question. This building exists to support the storytellers who will tell our world what is going on. And we have hundreds of projects and productions under Creative Visions. We have Students Rebuild, which is touching millions of kids to teach them how to tell stories. We need stories that talk about the greed that is driving our planet to raise the temperatures and minimize the resources that we have. That's the purpose. Dan was telling a story. He died to tell a story with 3 other people. We have to tell the stories that were going to move people's hearts and minds to make different decisions.
Yeah, and Dan's work was incredible and so young too. So when do you think you might be able to return to your home, and how do you feel about that given the total devastation that surrounds it?
We lost people who lose houses. Many of them have told me, look, the house, we can replace the house maybe sometime, somehow. Stuff, we don't need more stuff. It is the communities that are lost. It is the, as you were saying earlier, the bakery and the butcher and the candlesticks maker. We don't have any place to go now. There's no Palisades. We have no place to go. We have to come together as communities and be kind to one another. You know, people are hurling accusations. We have to realize the root cause and shift our gears. I don't know when we're going to be back. We're ready. We're ready to go back and be a beacon of light, that center, but it's toxic land and I couldn't breathe the air. I went back for a couple of hours and I came back coughing and my eyes were burning. It's heartbreaking. It's going to be a while.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to take time to remove the toxic version that's there, but the rebuild will go forward. What will it take for the community to come
It will
together
take
to rebuild?
I think we realize now that even the most glitzy celebrities can't save us. It's going to take every man and woman and child. I think it's going to be driven by children. These kids are not going to stand by and say yes to climate deniers. They know that it's human-made climate issues. They are not. They are going and aware of what's happening in other parts of our world with other refugees in the Middle East, in Sudan, in Ukraine. They're going to understand. I think they're going to be more compassionate and aware and, please God, connected to one another to save their future, because it's really about the future of kids. Forget about the future of the planet. It's about the future of our kids.
Kathy Eldon, your strength at this time is incredible and inspiring for all of us watching and listening. Thank you so much for talking with us. We appreciate it. We wish you the best.
Thank you.